Turn up the radio and sing along. It's time for another great song. This is the Great Song Podcast.
Season's greetings and welcome once again to the Great Song Podcast. I'm Rob Alley.
I am JP Mosier.
And we're here to celebrate the greatest songs in modern music history. We're going to tell you what makes them great, why we think they're awesome, and why you should too. JP, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic, Rob. Sunday, I was doing a little prep for this, and I've got, one of the greatest movies of all time playing in the background, The Never-Ending Story.
Fantastic.
And so, you're sitting there, and Artax is sinking into the swamp of sadness. And it's like, my goodness. And I walk out of the house, and I'm like, Atreyu! So I'm like, okay, I gotta pick me up. So I drive around the corner. Sunday, Chick-fil-A's closed.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my goodness! It's like, this is the saddest.
Yeah.
So many tears. Then I go one step further, and my greatest of all fears, Crystal's, is closed.
Oh.
I'm like, are you serious? Crystal's is going through bankruptcy for those of you guys right now, and that
Sad
hits
times.
hard to the heartstrings.
The
The heartstrings with Mosier and some Crystals. But today we are talking about Tears for Fears.
Yeah. Not Tears and Fears.
Not Tears and Fears.
Yeah.
This is Tears for. And we have a special guest.
Holy cow.
Why
we
did
have
I
a
wait
special guest.
49 seconds into this thing to introduce us again?
I don't know.
Family friend,
Wow.
David McKee Barnes.
Hey,
Welcome back.
I've forced my way back.
Welcome back. It's good
on the
to have you.
podcast.
Fantastic.
I forced my way. Hold on. So I didn't want to reveal myself too early, which is the opposite of how I've lived my life.
Oh,
but
man.
I think so. Crystal's going through bankruptcy.
Yeah, no, it's sad. Sad.
That stinks.
But at least, here you have White Castle, though.
But
I
no,
don't know,
stop,
I don't know where
stop.
those stand for you.
No,
for
no,
me,
no,
I'm from
no.
Chattanooga, Crystal Chattanooga
Crystal's
Company. It's
Oh,
Crystal or
wow.
nothing. But like,
I proposed to my wife with a ring in the Crystals box. And I will
course
tell
you
you
did.
that story another day, Dave.
Wow.
Off the air. It's a money story.
Wow.
You'll be like, that guy is
doesn't sound like
He's
a money
boss.
I
story.
should save that for
Yeah, it doesn't lead one to think that, but I believe that you can
I
make
should
it.
save that for another episode later
Yes.
that we're going that we'll talk
when we do,
about.
I swear. Maybe.
Oh my gosh.
There we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
how about that?
Anyway, Rob, you want
Wow.
to kick? We got to play a little bit of it.
Let's do it.
We want you to hear what we're covering today. So,
So let me. Can I say? So
You can
Absolutely,
say
yes.
whatever
Let
you
me
want.
just say this: when we got together the last time,
Yeah.
and you guys were so kind to regale me with kindness and encouragement, I literally, as the podcast went off, like we finished recording, I said I want to come back and do numerous songs.
Yeah.
And so I literally just forced these songs upon you guys, but it actually worked because y'all were
wonderful.
like, "No, we were going to cover the song."
Please, yes.
So as we enter the song, I just want to say, like, this is. I was thrilled because this is one I've always wanted to do, like a deep dive on.
Yeah.
So sit back. You're going to get nuggets of goodness from all three of us from different perspectives.
Yes.
So
Right.
hope you guys enjoy it.
Here we go. This is Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears.
Atreyu!
By the way, Neverending Story Part 2 is trash.
It's awful.
Trash.
So bad.
It's like it's all the rejects from one.
Welcome to your life. There's no turning back. Even while we sleep, we will find you acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the
Ladies and gentlemen.
Good night.
Everybody wants to rule the world. That is by Tears for Fears. I really felt like a radio DJ just then.
Yeah, but good.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
79 degrees outside.
That's from the 1985 album, Songs from the Big Chair. Now the voice is controlling me. I can't stop it. Written by Roland Orzabal, Ian Stanley, and Chris Hughes. It went number one on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, Hot Club Dance Play, Hot Dance Music / Maxi Singles sales charts. All of
Kabam!
those. Number 1 U.S. cash box. Number 1 U.K., Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Number 2 Billboard Top Rock Tracks in AC. It won the 1986 Brit Award for Best Single, and it is number 345 on the Billboard All-Time 600. We're finally starting to get some
making some headway on this weird list.
on this list. Yeah. So, and soon I will reveal the truth about this list from Billboard. They emailed me back. I just haven't time to get into it and dig into what songs are on that list. But soon, I promise it's coming.
Do you know
maybe a mini episode?
what I thought was a fun fact? Do you know why it was number 2 and not number 1?
No.
Do you know what number 1 was?
No.
Let us know.
1986.
We Are the World.
Oh, come
Which
on.
those kind of songs are cheats.
That doesn't count because you have everybody.
Like, Everybody Wants to Rule the World should have been a number 1.
Yeah.
Like it had every right to
It
be.
should have
but
an
then you have
asterisk
sort of
beside
a
it.
once in a lifetime
Yeah,
song come on, and then you're not going to beat it.
Right.
And I think I've listened to other podcasts like
How dare
Questlove or
you.
somebody had you cheater. But he's had somebody on where another artist didn't get number 1 because of We Are the World around that time. And it's like that's just such a bummer.
Yeah.
It's a great thing, and it was obviously a huge moment in the world, and it was a great benefit. But it's just, when it keeps a legendary song like this from that sort of title.
It's like the rest of the world losing to the Dream Team. It's like,
That's
come on,
exactly
that is
right.
not. You can't
on,
beat
man.
Jordan Johnson.
Yeah.
Come on, that ain't right.
Yeah.
You know what? That actually ties into last week. We talked about Blinded by the Light, which was written by
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. I'm sorry. We
Springsteen.
talked about Blinded by the Light, written by Springsteen, and it went to number 1 for Manfred Mann's Earth Band, and that is Bruce Springsteen's only number one song ever as a writer or a performer. He hit number 2 with Dancing in the Dark, but he technically had another number 1. I feel like I'm being very random here. He technically had another number 1 because he was on We Are the World. So, as a performer, technically,
Well,
he had
another
number 1.
fun fact I learned, which is simpatico, you're bringing that up, is that he also wrote Because the Night Belongs
Really?
to Lovers.
10,000
But I
Maniacs.
don't think it was no. It was Patti Smith.
Really?
Who was covered by 10,000 Maniacs. But the 10,000 Maniacs version may have gone. It wasn't a number 1 Billboard, though. It was like number 1 alternative. But I think Patti Smith's was like number 1 rock.
I've never even heard the Patti Smith version.
Yeah, it's really different. But
I've only
it's
heard the
funny
Unplugged.
that was another co-write.
Yeah.
Y'all don't understand. I have the best seat in the house. It's like I'm watching tennis. It's like McEnroe and Jimmy Connors.
Jimmy Connors,
and they're
for
just
sure.
it's just wonderful. And I'm just sitting here.
Oh, man.
McEnroe's yelling at me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well,
I get to-
You know what? Just another quick sidebar. The thing I think is so fascinating about that too is when you have an artist like Springsteen that has, he's probably had, I mean, I'm guessing, but less than 10 songs that he wrote that he didn't record for himself, so that other people wrote. But to think that 2 of them, if there were even 5, were such significant hits.
Yeah.
It just shows you the skill set of a guy that he's like, oh, yeah, and I had a couple outside songs. You're like, what are those? He's like, oh, Because the Night and Blinded by the Light. And you're like, oh, my gosh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
sure. You know what I mean? It's crazy to think about that.
Yeah. That is nuts.
But
we're
speaking
saving,
of
but
Tears
we're,
for
but we're
Fears-
saving Springsteen for another day. We'll
That's
bring
right,
you back
that's
for,
right,
for
that's
Born
right.
to Run when we
That's
get
right,
that one or
that's
something.
There you go. So this is from songfacts.com. It says, Everybody Wants to Rule the World is a line actually from the 1980 Clash song, Charlie Don't Surf, which I don't know, unfamiliar with. But it says, did Tears for Fears lift it? Joe Strummer of The Clash thought so. He recounted a story to Musician Magazine about confronting Roland Orzabal in a restaurant, informing Orzabal that, quote, you owe me a $5. Strummer said that Roland reached in his pocket and produced a £5 note, ostensibly as compensation for poaching the line for his hit title.
Which is great.
That's a
I
good
love
story.
that story.
Here it is. Here's what you get. That's it.
We're
There you
good.
go.
We're settled.
It was originally titled Everybody Wants to Go to War.
Yep.
Oh, man.
And I think it was a good change.
That's
Yeah.
a wise move.
It's another one. It's another one of those songs that was they didn't want to record. It had sort of had a life in the band for a minute, and I actually watched their Spotify performance of it from like a couple of years ago. And Orzabal is doing the intro, and he says, "We used to put, like the producer who wrote it." Would be like, oh, let's play that song. And they'd kind of play it with the band every few days, play it with finally they were like, we should just record it. But they really didn't like it.
Yeah.
There was sort of a consensus.
It was different. It felt like a lot of their stuff was, especially their earlier stuff, was like just sort of,
kind of downer vibes.
Yeah, and so this felt a little too, I guess, happy
Which is funny because it's not even mildly happy. It's just that it's like up tempo.
It's got that great groove, which we're going to let you talk about. I know you're a huge fan of the groove on this song, and as a drummer, which we learned about you last time, you went to school. You majored in percussion in college, right?
Yeah,
that's awesome. I did not know that. So we're going to let you talk about the groove for a minute. Kurt Smith said the concept is quite serious. It's about everybody wanting power, warfare, and the misery it causes.
But Kurt didn't write it, which is interesting to me because it's written by the other of the two.
Yes.
Orzabal.
Yep. Yeah, Orzabal. Yeah, Roland.
And then the producer, and then another guy who was kind of in the band.
Yeah, right. And I just realized in researching this song that most of my life I've thought the wrong guy was the voice that I thought of when I thought of Tears for Fears.
Yes.
I was thinking visually that it was Roland because he looks more like he would have that voice to me.
Yeah.
But it's not.
And he's not the bass player. He's the guitar player.
Yeah, he's the
key guy. So
yeah. So anyway,
and watching Neil, right? No, who's the lead singer? Kurt
Smith.
Yeah,
Kurt Smith.
Watching Kurt sing, he's very Freddie Mercury. Like if you ever watch, he's got that same sort of mouth situation going on, kind of big teeth.
Kind of looks like an Instagram filter.
Like heavy overbite sort of vibes.
Yeah.
But it was almost creepy. I was like, he had to have grown up loving Freddie Mercury, just the way he sings.
And in this video, he's delivering all his lines sort of like, just chill. He's like, I'm just singing the song. And then when it hits the bridge and Roland joins him, Roland's like gyrating and he's like, you know, it's just all the complete, I don't know, it's a complete opposite. I don't know if they're that way all the time, but I thought it was really funny on the video.
Should we go ahead and segue into meeting the band? Do we want to go ahead and meet them or is that too early?
It's never too early.
Let's go ahead and meet them.
Get in there.
Band.
Hey, let's meet the band. It's time to meet the band. Hey, mama, let's meet the band. Let's all meet the band. Hey!
All right, we're going to meet the band that played on this Tears for Fears track. On guitar, keys, vocals, and a little bit of synth, Roland Orzabal from Portsmouth, Hampshire. Mother's English, father's from Paris, France. Met Kurt Smith in Bath. Not in a bath.
I was going to say, very different.
Not in a bath.
So anyway,
Somerset, England. Formed a ska band called The Graduate, not the movie, but called Graduate, and then eventually morphed into Tears for Fears. Now he's a famous novelist. He's a novelist.
Oh, I didn't know
How about that?
I found something interesting about his name. This is like really my only thing on him. But I thought, okay, his name is Roland Orzabal. His given name, his birth name, is Roland Jaime Orzabal de la Quintana.
Which is literally one name off from mine.
Is it?
That's my given Christian name.
Wow. Of course, guessing by his name, he's English, right? No. But he was, his mother's English, like you said, and his father is, of course, you can tell by the name Roland Jaime Orzabal de la Quintana, his father is French. His grandfather was from Buenos Aires, Argentina, though, so that's where he gets the nomenclature. He was actually born Raul Jaime Orzabal de la Quintana. But his family anglicized his first name to Roland just like a few days after he was born.
Because they knew who'd play keys.
Right, yeah, Roland, man.
Roland. Good call on
Rolling
that.
in the deep.
Oh, man.
There you go.
Adel. On bass and vocals, Kurt Smith. Solo projects after Tears for Fears. His first album was called Soul on Board. I tried to get into it, but I really couldn't. I listened to some of his solo stuff. Song Words isn't awful, but not really my jam. And a group called Mayfield, based on the
Milk.
Curtis. Yes, on Mayfield's Milk. We're
East
from
Tennessee
East
Milk.
Tennessee. That's
Of course
our
you
milk
are.
of choice. Based on Curtis Mayfield name.
Oh,
Sure.
wow.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right,
nice
that's much
little
better.
Tip of the cap. Their big hit was called Sun King, not Here Comes the
Not-
Sun King.
okay.
Just to clear that up. I didn't hate it. It's kind of slow chord rock. Not bad. I listened to quite a bit of that.
Chord rock. I like that.
I've
Did you
never
come up with
heard that phrase.
I just kind of wrote that.
That's brilliant.
Is that,
Slow
that's
chord
a
rock.
Moserism.
I wanna listen to
Stamp it.
some.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to .com that
Dot,
as quick
yeah.
as you can.
Chordrock.com. Did some music for TV shows. He wrote the theme song for Psych.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know what's funny? Sidebar. He has been on that show a bunch.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Yes, it's always like, and they, first of all, if you don't know Psych,
Not
the
a-
show,
that's
it
not really on
is
my radar,
One of
so-
the best shows of all time.
I've only seen it a couple times.
It's hysterical. But Sean, who's the lead character on the show, that's his name on the show, not in real life, is obsessed with Tears for Fears, and so intermittently Kurt will come on,
there
and
you
he
go.
always
Awesome.
plays himself, and it's always hysterical.
That's
cool.
very cool.
Oh.
But like
Well, now I'll
he's
have
on
to-
there a good bit.
Well, he's done some music for the show. There's a version that he and Ted Yoder did on Everybody Wants to Rule the World that's done on hammered dulcimer. You heard it?
Oh, that's cool. No,
my
I've not.
gosh.
I thought I would hate it. I was like, I don't like this concept.
Is it the dad that did the
It's
Hammer Dulcimer on
so
YouTube?
good. It's so good. It's Kurt and it's the Ted Yoder. Yeah, it's Kurt singing it with him and playing it. It's cool.
way.
It's really cool. So if you get a chance, check that out. Maybe after this, the three of us can watch that together as a family.
In the bath.
In the bath.
Eating pizza.
On keyboards, Ian Stanley.
Crystals.
Oh man,
I know,
R.I.P.
sorry.
He let them record at his studio for free. The Ian Stanley. I mean, you're in the band.
Great
right?
way to get a band.
Oh,
in
dude.
the band.
Yeah.
Just come on over. Use my studio.
That's the old thing of like this guy can't sing, but he owns the PA.
Oh, dude.
Like,
Yeah, it's
All day.
Yeah.
All day.
David Lee Roth. Right?
Yeah.
That's good. He did the soundtrack for Karate Kid Part 2. That
Oh,
whole
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love that movie. All the
Scoo-doo-doo,
Okay, that's the one where the big moment is the thing that you twist, right? The little
yeah,
drum.
yeah, right. That's good. He breaks the glass with the breathing. Oh man, Glory of Love, Peter Cetera.
Duh.
So good.
Let me tell you something. Quick aside. I'm just going to be the king of the quick aside.
That's perfect. We
Absolutely.
love it. That's us normally. So
If you want to take me to a very specific emotion immediately, and I think there's a lot of songs, but I would really say, and I don't know if y'all feel this way, but maybe 20 that if you hit it, I am like, it doesn't matter. I could be at a funeral and I'm going to have whatever that emotion is
Right,
from
yeah,
the song.
sure.
But that Glory of Love is
Oh
one of
yeah,
those.
man.
It-
When
it
the Like a
is-
Night from Shining, it's in C
Oh, my
major, and then
gosh.
it goes to that. It's like, what in the world? So good.
Okay,
David Foster.
if we're going to talk about Peter Cetera and that song, I have to bring this up. This has nothing to do with Tears
Go,
for Fears.
just follow it.
But have you guys seen Frozen 2?
No, I've not seen Frozen
Okay.
1. Sorry.
Okay, it doesn't
can't
matter.
wait for this
It's
connection.
irrelevant to this conversation. But there is a song called "Lost in the Woods" in Frozen 2. I'm going to play it for you because you need to hear it. And it is basically a style parody of old 80s Peter Cetera in Chicago.
What?
It's going to blow your mind. Okay, first of all, it's the character is I can't remember his name in the movie, but anyway, he's like the love interest from the first one, and it's Jonathan Groff, who's the guy that was. Have you heard Hamilton, the original recording of Hamilton? Okay, he's King George from
Okay,
Hamilton.
okay.
To give you some whatever, and it's him doing like his best Peter Cetera, and the production on this song is
But it's for real.
insane. But it's for real. But they really play it up in the movie with like 80s style videography while he's singing, and it's very. I'm going to blow y'all's minds with this. It's incredible. All right, here we go. This is "Lost in the Woods" by Jonathan Groff from the Frozen 2 soundtrack.
Oh.
It's got all these. Listen to all the like. Which ones we ask?
Again, you're
Oh, there it is.
gone off on a different path than mine. I'm left behind.
I mean, that is all those David Foster. All those
All those little movements.
You had to go, and of course it's always fine. I probably could.
All of those are just ridiculous.
Tomorrow, but is this what it feels
Oh, hello.
like
Yeah.
to be growing apart? When did I become the one who's
Good
always
night.
chasing your heart? Now I turn around and find I am
That really is Chicago.
north to south, right
Anyway.
is left.
That is.
You're gone.
There's got to be
Do
another
they hit
feature.
harmonies yet?
Who sees you home, but now I'm lost in the woods. And
I mean, it's so brilliant.
I can't believe they chose of all the things to parody.
It's so
You know what we should do
random.
is parody like Chicago / Peter
Yeah, from like
Cetera.
1983. It's
That
so weird.
is hysterical.
And apparently, like the little kids don't get it, but
No,
the
no.
parents loved it.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
They're like,
They
that's
come back in. They're
amazing.
like, that's good.
Yeah.
On drums, Manny Elias.
Anyway, back to this.
yeah.
What are we even?
Drummer for Peter Gabriel, Julian Lennon, even Dolly Parton. The stuff he did with Peter Gabriel was on the album Passion, The Last Temptation of Christ, the movie.
Okay.
Never saw that movie. We grew up.
I probably wasn't allowed.
Christian
to.
home,
I don't know.
same thing. So I've never seen it. Anyway, it's got William Dafoe in
I'm
it.
only allowed to watch bad movies about Jesus.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not good ones.
That's right.
Not well done ones.
David Bowie was apparently pilot in that. And that was
Oh,
originally
really?
offered to Sting. I didn't know that. He won a Grammy for this on drums, Manny Elias.
Oh, wow.
Guitar solo too. That's
Yeah.
right. There's two.
Yeah.
Neil Taylor toured with Tears for Fears. Studio work with Morrissey, Tina Turner, and Robbie Williams and Krista Berg. Lady in Red guy.
Oh,
Is that him?
Neil Taylor. He's his guitar.
Shut your mouth.
He's his guitar player.
wow.
Oh my God, that groove
I don't know if we want to go co-writers. There we are. Thank you for stopping by, Christopher. We appreciate you. Thanks for stopping in. That was good.
I assume he's English. I have no clue.
And everybody, just to clear that up, Rob does all our impersonations. That was not Rob.
That's right. That was the first one that wasn't me.
That's the first non-impersonation. There's Shaggy.
That was me.
That was Rob. Right. Shaggy, thanks for coming back.
Oh, no problem.
Appreciate it. That's good. Shaggy, get on out of here. All right. Co-writer Chris Hughes.
Wait, I got to go back one thing while you're talking about Neil Taylor.
Go
Do you
back
have his note on what he played the solo, his gear and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, I got a whole gear section. Do we want to jump to gear now?
No.
We'll save gear for the end. I'm pretty excited about the gear part.
Okay.
Co-writer Chris Hughes. Drummer for Adam and the Ants. Co-produced Peter Gabriel's Red Rain, stuff with Gloria Gaynor, Pete Townsend, Robert Plant.
Wow.
Drums on Tori Amos' 92 album. And he produced Alphaville, which is the Forever Young song. Y'all know it. That's the Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, really?
Forever Young. You know that song?
Forever Young.
Oh, yes.
I want to be forever young.
That's him.
Chris Hughes, producer for that band, everyone. Okay. He didn't record that song, but he played on that song. And that's their hit. So, So that's the edited for television version of the band. So we can jump on and keep rolling.
Man.
That's amazing. And then we'll talk about the gear they use later because I'm really excited about that. Got a good gear section.
Okay. I want to give Dave a minute here to talk about just the feel and the groove of this song because it really is.
Give me at the top of this thing.
Yeah.
Give me the top because this is where we meet it for the first time.
Here we go.
Good gracious. All right, so here's what I thought was fascinating. So there's kind of two things that are combining to make this rhythm section as potent. You have a loop, which is that, I don't know, tambo shaker vibe.
Yeah.
But the drummer is doing what I think is just about impossible to do. He's doing two things. The bass drum, do, 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 do. But he's going...
Yeah.
So all the inner ghost notey stuff, all that stuff is the loop.
Right.
So he's not doing that. So I watched a live video of them playing this because I was like, what is he doing? And they've just got the loop going. But doing those two rhythms at the same time is literally one of the hardest things I think you can do as a drummer.
Yeah.
Because they are diametrically opposed.
Yeah.
And you just know that dude spent like 2 solid days getting this groove down before they recorded
Absolutely.
this. But it's a tricky groove because the shaker is doing so much of the work. Because he's, the hi-hat, which you think he's going... He's not doing that.
That sort of like offbeat hi-hat is so cool. This groove, and I've heard you on Instagram in your 5 hot takes, which if you're not following Dave on Instagram, make sure you go follow at Dave Barnes Music on Instagram. I've heard you lament the loss of that groove. Like,
shuffle,
where's the shuffle gone? And because you think of it like songs like The Way You Make Me Feel, Michael Jackson.
That's what I was going to say. It's
like
the same.
That's another really
if you play that right after, it's a similar groove
it's
sounding.
so, with that sort of offbeat. And there's now it's not, it's not as cool. I feel like somebody, I don't know if like Charlie Puth has done it, but I feel like he might.
He did. He did it on Mother, that song, which is a slamming shuffle. It feels so good.
Let's listen to it.
If your mother knew all the
Let's hear a little sampling.
It's the
There
same
it is.
thing.
That was it right there.
Charlie,
it's the
thanks
same
for coming
vibe. You're welcome.
Ah.
I just like that I made him English.
That's cool.
It's the same thing.
There it is.
He's such a nice boy.
It's such a good song.
Well-mannered. He's so much better than the last one you brought around. Please and thank you. Everything that.
But see, now this one's different than Tears for Fears because he's not doing that. He's just giving you downbeat. Such a great dude. When this thing kicks in, this is why shuffles take you to Happy Town.
If your mother knew all of the things that we do.
So the difference in those two shuffles is really significant. That's more of The Way You Make Me Feel.
Right, yeah.
Where Everybody Wants to Rule the World, that bass is just following the bass drum.
Yeah.
But this one is, which is what the Michael Jackson tune does.
True. Yeah.
And Manny had some help with drum machine usage.
Yes.
So there's actually 3 drum machines. The snare that he's using, he's actually playing the snare. That's the same snare they use in Shout. So if you listen to the Shout, it's the same snare. The shakers are from actually a Linn drum machine.
Yep.
And the kick drum is from a CMI. So
so he didn't play.
He didn't play the kick, and he didn't do the shakers part. The kick drum
only
is
the snare is live.
Only the snare is live
That
in
makes so
in the
much more
studio.
sense. I wondered
now
if
when
that
they
was a
play it live,
Frankenstein.
he plays over top of a track, obviously. So he's doubling,
And it sounds great.
and it sounds fantastic. But in the studio on the recording, they used actually 3 different drum machines, but the shaker was from the Linn drum machine.
Which makes a lot of sense because that rhythm section for a song like that, you need to be locked.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you got to be in the
thing
pocket.
starts to move around, it makes that song feel so unsettled.
Absolutely.
Which it's already, I think, half of the job, which we can talk about it later, but I think half of the job of the song is how unsettling it feels. Like, not just lyrically, thematically, but musically.
Yeah.
It never really gives you a
that's
moment.
A
interesting.
resolve.
I hadn't
Yeah,
thought
it's
about
good.
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
see that
always
either.
bouncing between those 2 chords.
I got one more song that I want to note because a place that kind of shuffle groove does still kind of pop up fairly often. I feel like is in gospel music.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yes.
So you get your Fred Hammonds, your Marvin Sapps.
Yes.
You know, a lot of those guys will still do that. This is one of my favorites. This is "Fresh Wind" by Marvin Sapp from the album "Here I Am." It's not just the groove. There's these hits in this song that are just incredible. It blows my mind.
I feel the presence of the Lord moving in the atmosphere. Like
Oh, my God.
a Pentecost, and we're all with one accord. And the sound
Listen to this hit.
My gracious.
Dude. Anyway, that song's
You know,
incredible.
there's a Haim song that's shuffle that they're great. Well, this is kind of like a pseudo shuffle. This is like a shuffle if you dropped it to the most simple aspect. Everything is based on the triplet. So, because when I posted this in the 5 Hot Takes, to your point earlier, like the different how shuffles are really dying, it was awesome. I had so many fans respond. They're like, "No, dude." Like Charlie Puth,
really? Here's
Haim.
going.
Yeah, like here's so many shuffles that are out and alive in the
awesome.
world.
That's good.
So it's cool to kind of remember, like, oh no. But I think as far as a single and as a significant pop song moment, they're not around much. And if they are, I think they're hat tips to The Way You Make Me Feel. They tend to be. There's like.
Should we play a little of The Way You Make Me Feel here in a minute?
Yeah.
So they know what we're talking
Yeah.
about. But you're right on that.
Yeah, it's that to me is kind of between Everybody Wants to Rule the World and The Way You Make Me Feel. Those are kind of the archetypes for that.
Exactly.
shuffle.
Yes, archetype is a great word for it. Yes. Yeah. Here's the Michael Jackson. If you don't know, a youngster named Michael Jackson, you may have heard of him. Yeah, you're right. The bass line is definitely
all
the
over the
mother
place.
of the Charlie Puth bass
Yes.
line, for sure.
There's so much that world in these songs.
Yeah.
So that's for you reference for those of y'all out there that didn't know what we
Yeah.
kept talking about.
But that's anytime you can. So it's called a triplet.
Yeah.
But that's really what this rhythm is based on: is triplet, 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 triplet. So anytime you find yourself like, why does this song feel so different? I mean, another really fast version of that is Toto's Rosanna. It's like it's a much quicker version. Yeah. But those to me are the pop. Like that's where pop music really, the shuffle was like really on display.
And the really funkiness of it comes from the hi-hat.
Yes, all the
playing every other
That's exactly
note of the
right.
triplets.
That's right.
Instead of playing it, you would either have triplet, 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 or you have dun 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 dun
Yeah,
dun,
yeah.
dun, dun, but it's just going
The dotted
dun,
eight
dun,
thing.
dun, 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 dun,
Oh, it
dun,
feels
dun,
so
dun.
good.
Yeah, gives it.
It's to me the most accordion push pull of a drum rhythm because it kind of has a loop. It has like a like it's like a weird sort of bounce to it.
Yeah.
Where anything else, you think of beat it, it's just
Driving.
going. That's it feels like you're dragging something behind.
Yeah.
So it's got which blues shuffles. I mean, you want to spend forever in a genre on shuffles.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
the blues use that a lot. But I think this is to me this and again that Michael Jackson song are the two I would say most successful that I can think of shuffles in pop music.
Yeah, probably the most. Yeah,
And I think
iconic.
that's why it's such a significant song. I think that's why that's one of the reasons this song has lived. It's not just a great song, but it's such a different feel for a pop song in pop music.
Yeah.
So when you hear it, you know immediately, like, this is different than the 5 songs that just got played before it.
Yeah. When the groove kicks in, because first you've got the little guitar, and then the cool little synth part, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But the groove just smacks you in the face.
Oh, my gosh. And it does, and again, last point on that, I think the fact that the bass and the bass drum are doing the same thing is the train. Because it's not busy. It's just boom, 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 boom. You know, it's
locked.
It's locked the whole time because it's, to your point, a drum machine.
Yeah.
You know, you know where it is.
And the bass is done on a bass synth.
Yep.
So Kurt's not playing bass because
Yeah.
he's out singing. So it's done on a bass synth. It's done on the PPG Wave. It's a German keyboard from Palm Productions. It's kind of metallic, but with bounce. It's kind of the best way that I know to put that. They only made that keyboard from 81 to 87, and that was based on the high cost because it was so expensive to make that keyboard. I don't know if you've seen it. It's the one. It's really bright blue. So if you get a chance to look it up, it's like as blue as Rob's hat. Y'all can't see that hat. Maybe we'll post it later.
No, we won't.
No, we won't post the hat later. Kind of a galloping bass sound.
Yeah.
I think kind of that feel. So that's what was used on that to help drive it.
There's a, and I know you've got more stuff on the synths and the gear and stuff. I found a really cool article on reverb.com, and it was in detail, you know what I mean, every piece of like synthesizer, every drum machine, all that stuff. And then they went kind of an extra mile, and they had somebody go in and use either real synths or synth plugins to recreate those
I watched him play it.
sounds.
I watched him play it.
Okay,
Yeah, that
and
was
so
cool.
and then they give it to you as you can download it as a project file for like Pro Tools or
Oh,
Logic or
dang.
something like that, and use it in your own stuff to just make remixes or whatever, and get to use these plugins and blah blah blah. And I thought it was really cool. And then they had, a demo of like, this is our basically recreated version of Everybody Wants to Rule the World. And it sounded really, really good. But there was something in it that absolutely infuriated me.
Oh, boy.
Would you like to hear it?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll just go ahead and tell you what it is. The first snare hits are off.
Uh-oh.
Unforgivable.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
That's so important. How do you miss that? How do you miss that? It's supposed to be and they went and I just went,
Oh, yeah.
I exploded as I was watching.
Fail.
Yeah, so like
As
whatever
much as
good
you
you
spent
did,
figuring out the tones, you lost me at the end.
How do you go so deep on synth sounds and programming and
And
all
you
this
didn't even
stuff
get the loop
and
right-
miss
the-
the first
miss the-
hits?
the
Like
hit of
that's
the-
what
the
sets
drum
the whole
part.
thing
That's
off.
funny.
I was like, it was such a letdown. Anyway, like Reverb, great job, but that
You're awesome. You just
Those-
had one mistake.
you were
We were about to have you as a sponsor, and then we
Well,
just went
it really, to your point, it keeps it from going ga 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 ga
Yeah.
ga, which is not the vibe of the song. It's ga 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 ga.
Yeah.
So it's you're already like
yeah,
you're off the horse.
Makes the whole thing feel weird.
It's It's derailed.
It's detrained.
It's detrained. Dang, girl, you detrained. Excuse me, I've detrained the conversation.
Let's talk a little bit about the album. I don't have tons on it. For a song that's so iconic and an album that's so iconic, I didn't find just a huge ton about stuff. But the album Songs from the Big Chair, it went number 1 in the U.S., Canada, Germany, and the Netherlands, number 2, U.K., and New Zealand. 5 times platinum in the U.S., which is 5 million copies or more. And according to Wikipedia's chart certification stats, only 900,000 copies in the UK, which surprised me. It seems really low. I mean, lower population, right, than here, but still, I just thought.
Is that diamond there? Or I'm sorry, is that double platinum there?
I have no idea. I didn't realize until researching this song that platinum meant different things in different countries.
Yeah, because I think in the UK, I'm not going to do that because I'll get it wrong.
There's
But
some
it's
like
a lot.
I think in the UK it's 300,000 is
Yeah,
platinum.
that it's. I was.
Oh, so
gonna
this
say,
is triple platinum.
So this is
in the UK.
In the
I'm
UK.
a math major. Not really.
Yeah. But like,
Horrible
and
math.
so in
diamond.
Carry the one.
In some countries, it's like 100,000 is
Yeah.
platinum, where in the U.S. that's gold.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we need a standard of measurement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like metric and imperial. Whatever. So I didn't realize that. So
Yeah.
But if you do have an album of theirs, this is the one that you have.
Yeah,
for
Because
sure.
it's got Shout, it's got Head Over Heels.
Yeah.
Like it's the album, and obviously this one.
Yeah.
Their first album from '83, The Hurting. That's the one with Mad World on, which is another good hit. I kind of went deep
Little
on
Donnie
Mad
Darko.
World. Yeah. That was inspired by Girls on Film by Duran Duran.
Girls on Film.
That's what.
Which one was what's the one that's like they don't have a lot of groovy ones, but this is the one other groovy one. Sweet Home Alabama. No,
That's the one, yeah.
oh my God, this is gonna drive me crazy. Break it down again.
I don't know that one.
Oh, you do.
Do I?
Oh,
Is it
you
on The
do.
Hurting?
Did you need a march in your life? Dude, when this kicks in, it is the best. I love. Let's get some Gregorian chanters.
Absolutely.
Oh, you'll notice. Here we go. You don't know this song?
You stumped me.
think I do either.
You stumped the panel.
Oh, this was like a hit for them. Here we go.
Oh man, I wouldn't have got a point in the game.
You guys don't know this.
I'm not sure I know
This is
it.
another. Here we go. Just jump up an octave. Who knows that?
We're disappointing him as music lovers, as
it's
we,
okay.
we both failed.
That was like one. That's a weird tune for them because it wasn't like it was a single, and I think had some success, but it wasn't. It's not in their sort of
Mega hit.
mega hit
Yeah.
land.
Oh, that's good. That's good introduction. Thanks for introducing us to that,
Oh, that
Dave.
song's
Yeah.
a jam.
That's good stuff. Good stuff.
Okay, I got a note on talking about The Hurting. This is really interesting. So, y'all know that song, Do They Know It's Christmas by Band-Aid?
Yeah.
That's like maybe racist, I think. I think we can fairly say it, this song. It's a little racist, right, at this point. We can say that. But it's awesome, right? Still, to this day, remains one of my favorite Christmas songs. It's one of those, it's not fully Christmas until I've heard a few songs. You know what I'm saying? I kick off the season with a little Dave Barnes,
you.
then I got to hear Do They Know It's Christmas, and I got to hear Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time, which I know is a controversial take. I know some people that absolutely rubs the wrong way. But Do They Know It's Christmas uses a sample from the Tears for Fears song from The Hurting. The actual song, The Hurting.
Oh, really?
The drums at the beginning of Do They Know It's Christmas are a sample. I'll play it for you.
Wow, you have spelunked to the deepest level. Like you literally reached the bottom of the internet.
Spelunk to the bottom.
That's amazing. One.
Yeah, so that song. I was
That
just playing
song
while
went
you're doing
number
this.
one.
It was a number one hit.
Really?
Yes.
Man. Wow.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, so this is The Hurting by Tears for Fears from their first album. Okay, those drums, just those toms. Listen one more time. Okay, now we're gonna go. I know this is weird. Now we're gonna go to Do They Know It's Christmas? It's gonna be sped up. You're gonna immediately go. Yep, that's it.
Oh my gosh, boy, that is you
that
literally
wild?
have won whatever award you should be rewarded
Deep
for.
dive award. Yeah.
Yes, the
That's
DD,
good.
the DDA.
Deep dive award. That's good, man. That's awesome.
There we go. That's my contribution today.
Wow,
That was wonderful. Good job, Rob.
Thank you.
I got a few more things on the
that's
gear.
the content
Do
I'm here
it.
for.
Hit some more gear.
The keyboard synth part that they did use for the chord was a Prophet.
Yeah.
It was a pad with a little bit
Oh,
of
yeah.
brass in there. I know we both want to talk a little bit about the guitar part. So to clarify, there's actually 2 guitar solos.
Sure.
So I don't know if
And
you
they're
want to
both
play them,
incredible.
and they're both good.
They're both incredible.
They're both magnificent.
Thank you.
Magnificent. Played by 2 different guitar players.
Yeah.
So the first one is by Roland, and the second one is by Neil Taylor. So you can play a little sampling of
But
each.
you can hear the difference. You can
Yeah.
hear the
Barely.
difference stylistically.
There's a difference in attack and
stylistic.
sort of tone, and yeah.
Although I'll tell you, if you watch old videos of the band playing it live, Roland does both of them to incredible effect.
And he
Yeah.
even does it the second one in the video. He's
Incredible.
playing the
like,
Over
he plays
top of
them
it, yeah,
both exactly as you, which is really always really impressive to me.
So here's kind of the first one. Let's get into it. It's kind of buried. Doesn't fully feel like a solo.
So that
Okay,
one,
so that's Roland.
Quick note
Roland.
is much more of a numerous note guitar solo.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of soloing chords.
Yeah.
Or couplets of notes.
Yeah.
So he's not going, you know, he's doing
It's more percussive.
harmonized
Like it's, yeah.
notes.
Yeah.
So, which is one way to do it. And I think what's so fascinating is when you juxtapose it against what Neil does at the end, which is much more of a conventional guitar solo.
Yeah,
Correct.
Right. It's much more like
It's a guitar
melodic
solo.
solo.
Which, could you play that one?
Yeah,
at the end?
sure. I can. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because I think it's.
I thought you were asking me literally if I could pull it off. Like,
You're like,
yeah, I was like, yeah, I can play that.
Give me like a week.
Yeah, here we go.
That one is played Fender Super Walnut Super Strat through Roland Jazz Chorus 120, which is neat that I bring up the amp because Solo 2 is played through the exact same amp.
Oh, no way.
Same physical
Exact same physical amp with the amp distortion turned on.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh,
amp
that's
distortion.
rad.
There's no pedals.
Yeah.
There's no. This is the amp
Straight through the amp.
distortion.
Oh, I love that.
And the second guitar, he plays a different guitar. He plays a Gordon Smith,
Yeah.
which I looked up the Gordon Smith guitars. They're cool looking guitars. If you get a chance to look them up, obviously everybody knows the Super Strat, but look up the Gordon Smith guitars through the exact same.
I
amp.
love that. That's
So,
a cool move.
That's
And
awesome.
I heard a lot of people say like, how did he get that amazing tone out of what apparently is a notoriously crap amp distortion sound? Like
yeah.
they're like that
There's
distortion
no way.
sounds
And
awful.
And he's,
how did he do that?
And he says, "Yeah, that was the amp I
people are
used.
just
I went
like,
and I
it's-
turned up the amp distortion. That's all I did.
It's just-
different guitar, same amp.
I've always heard it said like, your hands are like 75%.
The tone is in your hands.
You know what I
That's
mean?
the thing.
Well, and two, I was gonna
good.
say what I feel like I hear in this, and I could be wrong, is he's turning the pick so that you're grating into the string. You know how you can play it just where you hold a pick, like everybody holds a pick, and
Yeah.
you solo the same way. But if you barely turn your hand toward the floor,
Yeah.
you get the side of the pick, and you can dig, and you can hear it. It feels like he's
Which is wrong for those of you students. They teach you don't do that. They have the
Don't do
pick adjuster. That's
right.
That's not the way they teach it, but it feels
your
good.
hands with chopsticks.
Yeah, Miyagi, Karate Kid 2. Everybody remembers the
style.
scene
That's
where
right.
Miyagi hits his
The
hands.
greatest of guitar teachers.
The greatest of guitar teachers. That's right. That's amazing.
Yeah, he played that nylon like.
Oh, kill
Oh
it,
man,
kill
that's
it.
Yeah.
Good.
Go ahead. Were you going to talk?
I
about
was just going to go to the second solo.
Okay, yeah.
to hear
Play the
difference.
second solo, and then I got another guitar piece. I want to talk
Okay, all right. This is my note right here. Love it.
Oh, that's not it. That's not
Yeah,
the solo.
no, that's just
that's
the
the tag.
interlude, right?
Oh, it's after this.
That's the
That's the teaser.
yeah.
He's like, I'm about to rip y'all's
Here it
faces
comes.
off. I mean, he is digging in.
Yeah.
Ah,
Picking up some harmonic.
those are some weird jumps note-wise.
Yeah. It almost sounds like he just did it without the recording playing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're like, here's your click track.
Well,
Play a solo
it
over the
feels to
click
me,
track.
I don't know, but it feels to me like that guy either knows a lot about music, and he's like, I want to do a Mixolydian solo, and you're like, you won't do it. Yes, I will. Hit record. It's like that vibe. Or he was just like, I don't know. This is working. But I have a feeling it's the first.
I
But
think so.
like that is a very educated guitar solo.
Yeah.
Like no normal person is hearing those jumps between notes because they're so bizarre.
Yeah, there's no like standard guitar solo tropes.
No.
in there at all.
No.
It's very much its own thing.
But you can hear. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can hear him digging into it.
yeah, it sounds like he's
He's gritting his
beating.
teeth.
He's-
It's like he's gritting his teeth.
Everybody in there was like, he's gonna break those strings.
We've got 14s on there already.
yeah. Oh my God.
The action is raised up like 3 inches off the.
It looks like a dobro.
Okay, it's awesome. There is one other. You may completely disagree with me on this, but okay, we normally do. No, we normally are similar. So, like, modern music obviously takes from this. And is there any songs that you think of that somebody heard like this song and then patterned a song after it? Because I know that's kind of a weird question. And the reason I asked, there's one song that I heard the other day, not even doing research for this song, and I was like, that is so similar. I have to talk about it. Do you know Pyro by Kings of Leon?
I don't.
Play it. I heard this on the radio, and I was like, this is definitely inspired by this intro part. So think about
I would argue though, you think of like really successful pop songs.
Yeah, successful.
that have been around that are like evergreen songs, right? Like this. It's got to be one of the least reproduced.
Yeah, exactly. There's
because
not
of-
a lot.
Because of, I think, the shuffle.
And because
genuinely.
it's so different.
And it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay, so this
Listen
is
to
Pyro.
Pyro.
Kings of
Don't,
Leon.
not necessarily groove-wise, but think guitar-wise. Guitar player-wise.
Okay.
Think of the way the things he does at the beginning, and if it's similar. I could be off, but it felt like it to me. Wait for it. It's even more.
Oh, wow.
That's a teaser of what's about to come, and it's like...
Oh, wow. Look at you spotting that, JP.
Man.
It's not, do they know it's Christmas? But it's my contribution.
You're not far.
No, that's rock solid, dude.
You know, it's funny, and you guys know this playing music, but that for those who aren't musicians or writers that are listening, I mean, one of the most common vernacular that we have when you're writing a song or you're working on a song is to reference another song. Sure. It is the quickest way to get your idea across. Yeah. And so it's super duper common in a writing room or a production in a studio when you're producing a song that someone goes, and it's almost, this is almost the only way to really communicate this, unless you know gear really well. Like if you walked in and went, no, because like when you're reading those gear things, there's a lot of people in Nashville that know that stuff. And they go, no, the sound on this song, he's running it through a Roland. Oh yeah, well, I can get that sound. But most of the time, what you do is you go, hey, the part on Everybody Rules the World. That's the vibe.
Play that. That's kind of what I
And then you play it, and everybody's, oh, you mean yeah. So you just have to think. You have to think
that they're like,
that was the reference point.
This is kind of what I'm going for.
Yes.
Let's
That
listen
sort
to
of
this.
noodling at the beginning of Everybody Wants to Rule the World. We really fill this in.
Yeah. Which
absolutely.
is a fun part. I don't know if we're going to do this, but I laid out the layout of the song, the form.
Do it.
And so the songwriter in me.
Yeah.
They only do that motif, if you will, the they only do it like twice.
Yeah.
Which is funny because you know the song by that. And then it sort of goes away. I talked about this on 5 Hot Takes, actually. The same is true in Sweet Home.
Sweet Home Alabama.
I'm sorry, Sweet Home Alabama and Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah, that's right. It's at the
intro. Because it starts with that intro riff, which is one of the most iconic guitar parts, but then it never happens again in a turnaround. It's actually the chorus part. And here it's funny because you'd think, like, oh, this is what this is. But he only does that after the second chorus on what kind of feels like a solo section a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's the only time he does it again.
Yeah. And if that's being recorded now, that's happening at least 6 times.
Oh, that's copy and
like
pasted
the hook,
everywhere in the song.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Did you theory it out on this one? I don't know if you did.
Not
Chord
really.
Progression.
Just that
for
main.
those that want to play along at home.
I read that the inspiration that brought the song was that Roland played those just original 2 chords on his guitar at one point, and one day it just clicked. You know what I mean?
A over D, G over D for those of you guys that are playing at home.
It's a 5/4. And then 4, right? Yeah.
4 over
1.
I
see what you're saying. Yes. So you've got the D in the bass.
The D in the bass. It sits on the one.
Yeah. And then the exactly. It's a 5 and then a 4 over
4
that.
over 1.
Yeah, over 1. So it's a very unusual. It lends itself to some interesting melody, which helped with the guitar solo.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
And so it gives you a lot of interesting places to go.
Well, and I think one of the things just globally about this song. So I'll do this really quickly, but I think it really serves the purpose of the song. So one, to your point, Rod, they talked about everybody wants to go to war. So already they were on a trajectory that was like unsettling. It's disturbing, or it's not something you're going, oh, let's play this at the pool and jam with our friends.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the weirdest things I've ever said. But I do feel that way a lot. Can we just play this at the pool and jam with our friends? But everything about this song follows suit, and I think there's something to be said for songs that really achieve the title and the mood in every way they can. The drums, the bass, the guitar parts, the lyrics, the melody, the key, and to your point where that one is always ever present. You do. So. But even if you look at the form of the song, I'll do this really quickly. You have intro, verse, chorus, turnaround.
Okay, I was going to ask, do you call the acting on your best, but do you call that part the chorus?
I did.
Okay, cool.
Because these songs sort of...
Because it ends with the hook.
Well, and we'll do this again on our next song.
Okay.
There's actually the
teaser.
same...
That means he's coming back, everybody.
Dun, 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 he'll be back. But I only call it that because once you don't have a chorus twice in a row, whatever's the closest thing to it is what I call the chorus. So
Makes sense.
That's kind of thing. So then you have intro, verse, chorus, turnaround, verse. This time it adds the pulse there's a little pulse thing that starts happening in the background to keep it moving, which I thought was really fascinating. It adds sort of this kind of eighth notey thing. Chorus. Bridge, it's the first time Diamonds, I think this is really significant. It's the first time Diamonds are using the song, and Diamonds are just, you hit and it lasts for usually a bar. So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's the first time that ever happened, and it's the only time. So what happens is there's this lift off. Say that you'll never, never, never. So you just feel like all of a sudden, if there is a moment where it kind of gets above the clouds, that's the moment.
Yeah.
And it's so purposefully done because they're like, we need something to really make you feel. And they do the big diamonds on the guitar, on the electrics, and they never do it again, which is really interesting.
Good call on Diamonds, everybody. 5 seasons. First time we've talked about that. Good job bringing that to the table. Thank you so much.
Nashville. That's Nashville's Nerd Talk with Dave. So then, and actually in that same thing, they get staccato after that. They start doing the Chuck thing, Chuck, that sort of vibe. So then you have the chorus, then solo. Does the intro part again on guitar for the second time. Then you kind of have like solo 2 where the chords change. Then you have solo 3, which is super chaotic, which is the second.
Which I called solo 2. I didn't call solo 2.
Because the second was just sort of
it's a
barely there.
Teaser.
But so there's solo 3, which we just talked about the chaotic one. Chorus, bridge, the diamonds aren't there this time. But the intro guitar is.
Underneath.
So there's actually 3 times I guess it happens. Okay. Solo 4, chorus, solo 5.
Wow.
So there's technically, like, depending on what you're calling solos, and this feels like the deepest of all dives, but the reason I bring this up is everything about this song feels chaotic. It feels very, like, unsettling, and what are we doing? And everybody wants to, and the fact that they don't repeat, the only thing they repeat in this song, other than the title, is that all for freedom and for pleasure, nothing ever lasts forever, which is halfway through the song and at the very end, too. So again, there's just this real sense, and that is, as you guys know so well from doing the podcast, that is super unheard of in pop songs. Yeah. If there's anything you're trying to achieve in a pop song, not in a song, but in a pop song, it is familiarity and consistency.
And cohesiveness.
And cohesion. So it's fast. I love these moments. It's one of the reasons I love this song, is it's such an anomaly. I love any time there are disruptions to the continuum. And this is one of the biggest ones, I think, in the pop world, because it's a shuffle. It's this weird, it's lyric that you'd never think would, and it's the only part that the crowd is singing with, it's everybody wants to. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, because it never change. It never stays the same. Yeah. So I love when anomalies get celebrated. And this is one of those where it's like, the world was like, this is just too good for it not to be. Yeah. Even though it doesn't really make sense on the time.
Everybody wanted to rule this song. Like the drummer wanted to rule it, the bass part wanted to rule it, the guitar player's
They're
like, I'm going to rule it. And then the vocalist, Kurt's like, no, I'm in here. Oh, so
and his voice too, it's another, and that's another piece that I think is really fascinating, is his voice is really bizarre.
It is.
It's weird. We talked about it in the car. It's like, no more talking about it in case it comes up. Yeah.
Bizarre voice. Yeah. But that's what makes music to me so awesome. Because if anybody else you'd think of like some of the iconic voices of that time, even though they're less known now, but like Mr. Mister, or some of these kind of bands that would have done a song like this, who had much quote unquote better vocalists, it wouldn't have. Even his voice is unsettling. Yeah. You kind of hear it, and it's just not. It's not like a good old dude singing the song that you're like, yeah, man. It's sort of this like nasally. It's very high head. Say the truth. It's all there, And so if you'd have had Don Henley or Phil Collins or any of the other sort of like landmark voices, it wouldn't have done.
It'd have been a lot more comfortable, which would have taken away from the song.
There you go. That's good. That's exactly right.
That's so funny. Yes, his voice is always strange.
But it's amazing. But
we love it. We love you, Kurt Smith. We know you're a big follower of the podcast, big supporter. Thanks for listening.
Yes, don't stop listening.
Just keep on hanging.
But you know what I'm saying, though? I think that matters. I think the way it can never be said enough, in my opinion, and this is the artist and songwriter sort of poking out here, but so much of the way that we understand a song is who's singing it. And you would be amazed. It's one of the most fascinating things about songs to me. I mean, literally in the top 3 to 5 things that I think fascinate me about music and songs is that all 3 of us could take a song and sing it, and you're going to have very different responses. But I think even more to the point of the people that you associate with a song initially tend to make that song what it is. And you can put a better vocalist on the same song. If Sting sang the song, we'd be like, that's cool, but it's not Kurt. Good.
It would have a different character.
It would have a different character.
Yeah.
And that character, when it's introduced, is usually the character that you know it by. And it becomes, and every now and then you'll have to your point about 10,000 Maniacs, actually, you'll have a song that sort of comes back up that may be more memorialized under that. But, you just tend to, they either live or die by that voice.
Yeah.
But when they live, no matter what the voice is, it becomes the voice.
We talked about this all the way back, season 1, episode 2, I think it was, Friends in Low Places.
Yeah.
Right? Once you hear the Garth Brooks version, the Mark Chestnut version does not matter.
Yeah.
Irrelevant. You know what I mean? Because it becomes like that his voice owns that song.
That's right.
In a way that Mark Chestnut's just didn't.
Yeah.
It even to the point where I at least said, if Garth hadn't done that song, it would never have been a hit for Mark Chestnut, period.
Yeah.
I don't think the same song that is incredible with his version would not have been a hit.
Well, too, you look at I Can't Make You Love Me and Adele. I mean, arguably one of the better singers that's probably ever come around. And look, I think that same way about Bonnie Raitt. But she can't do, when Bonnie sings that song, you feel and Adele is an emotional singer.
Yeah.
That's her kind of trademark.
Sure.
But it doesn't stand to Bonnie's to me.
Yeah.
Because it's just not the same. You just I don't feel the pain like I do.
Yeah, it's a little too glossy.
It's a little too glossy. And it's nobody's fault. That's just how she sings.
Yeah.
But it does, I think of Kurt, I think of this song, and I'm like, this is one of those another great example of a song that is a little bizarre vocally. He's got a really distinctive timbre and all that stuff. But you take him away, and I promise you this song. And, you listen to Weezer's version of it.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And they killed it. But, it's not this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it lacks the character of his voice for sure. Do you like the Weezer version? I think we might have talked about this before with Joey.
I think they did a good job with that.
I think they do
I love that whole album. The Teal album, I'm a big fan.
I was really impressed that I love that they were like, no, we're going to do as close as we can to these things without it becoming like, why even do the song? Because it sounds so close.
Yeah.
But I was really impressed that their version of Africa.
It's good. Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. People are kind of either on one side of the fence or the other about the whole Teal album thing. But yeah, I really like it. And my kids like it. And now my kids like all these cool songs that were on that album because of it. And
they go back and hear the original.
It's a great gateway drug into that.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I got a couple more notes, but frankly, they're kind of a little
Let's play the game. I always like to play a game. I play a game on each show or try to. We're going to do a game called Is This Tears or Is This Fears in songs? Okay. So I'm going to play a song. Dave and Rob are actually going to be on the same team. They're going to help each other out. Rob nailed the one-hit wonder female game a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
Rob's been on fire with games.
I love that you own that. You I did. I crushed that.
Winning prizes of unspeakable value. We always give away a prize of unspeakable value, or try to. So I'm going to play a few seconds. Dave, if you know it within the first 4 or 5 seconds, go ahead and bang in, and we'll say, you can say whether it's tears or fears. Rob, if you...
So we're saying, is this song about tears, right?
Is this song about tears, or is this about fears? Will it have the word in there? I kind of need to play something to do a sound check. Actually, we'll just start it. If it's in, we're good. If not, I'll turn it up. Here's our first one.
Oh, my gosh.
Do we know this one?
Oh, yes, but keep going. Oh, yeah. Rob, you got to do this one.
Help him, Rob. Help him out. Do you know it?
That's Paranoid by
That
Black
is
Sabbath.
Paranoid, which if you're paranoid...
Yeah, that's about fear.
That's a fear. Good job, Rob.
Okay.
Good
You
teamwork.
just saw some of my Christian upbringing that I was like, I know this, but I don't know.
It's all good.
I know, but I feel bad for knowing it.
I know this, but I feel like I was supposed to not know this.
Okay,
That's
cool.
what you just experienced.
Cool.
God, it still sounds amazing,
It does sound
doesn't
good,
it?
right?
Like, that's a weird thing where I was like, either this is Wolf Mother or Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Full disclosure, though, that was the 2016 remastered
Oh,
version.
okay. I was about to
You
say,
had a little help
that
on
sounds
that.
incredible.
Had a little help on that one. Okay, here's another one. This one may be a little tougher, but maybe not.
No, I know this.
You know this one?
Yes, come on.
Okay. Yes? Powerful bell.
Gosh!
I gave Dave the cheapest
man.
bell.
Oh, no, I don't. Hold on.
Oh, did he come in early?
Yes, it's GNR.
It is GNR.
November Rain?
No, it's a Tears song. Rob, do you know this one?
I don't think I know the title now.
This is Don't Cry.
Don't Cry.
Oh, don't you cry.
tonight.
There it is. Nailed it. Nailed it. Okay.
This is like so annoying when you go, oh, I know this.
I know, and
you
then-
got to give me more.
We
I know
put him
this.
on the
Give me more.
spot. Sorry about that.
That's
Good
what-
job knowing his GNR, though. You get a half
I
a
love
point
the
for that.
picked bass, by the way.
That's
Always a
right.
fan of like, let's pick. No, get a pick.
Give me that pick.
You may have some cardboard.
Put away that thin fender.
Oh
All right, here we go. This one will hit Rob's heartstrings, not home strings.
Oh, jeez.
We've talked about the artist before.
Oh, yeah. No, I know this.
Do you know this one? Okay, you can bang in whenever you
Tears
want.
or Fears?
This is not Tears for Fears. This is.
Oh, it's Tears.
This is Tears. You want to help him with the song? You know?
Oh, this is Don't Cry.
This is Don't Cry.
Another Don't Cry.
Another Don't
Okay,
Cry. I put
hold
those
on.
back to back, but we
Pause.
have to talk on this for a minute.
Have you ever heard
We're gonna play. This is Don't
This is the
Cry.
original.
This is the original. So here's your fill.
sonically this song is
Who's playing
Snare.
drums on this?
I don't know, and I should. I'm sorry about that. I'm bad at that. Okay, so this song.
Oh, my
is-
gosh. Listen to that guitar.
Yeah, this is
so
chords
chorusy, shimmery.
So those of y'all that
Shimmery.
are
I need something more shimmery.
those of y'all that are snapping along at
Bring
home.
me my shimmer.
This song is in 6/8, but we want to talk about.
Dave, have you heard? We talked about this forever ago when we did a Seal episode, but have you heard the Soul Power Club remix of this song that is in 4/4 time?
We're gonna help
No.
you.
straight 4/4.
This is for those
Hit
of.
it. It's gonna, but the vocals, it's in the same.
Oh, and it still works.
occupies the same space, and so the vocals just lay in.
There's some.
So we've gone from 6/8 to 4/4, and it still works. We get to the chorus.
They had to scoot stuff around, right?
There's a couple spots where they just inched it forward or something, but it still occupies.
Oh my gosh, how is this going to work? Like, I feel like there's yarn at the end that's not supposed to be in the blanket. You know what I'm saying?
So good.
so
All right,
cool.
so some
Anyway,
tears there.
irrelevant,
Moving on
but-
along.
Do they reharmonize or is it the same chords?
It's the same.
Oh, wow.
Tears or fears. Anybody?
Oh my gosh.
We're bringing
That's
in powerful bell. Dave, yes, coming in strong with the powerful
Little
bell.
blue oyster cult.
Blue Oyster Cult.
Fear.
Don't fear the Reaper. Good job.
Is
Good.
it the greatest skit in the history of Saturday Night
Oh,
Live?
it's
Probably.
definitely up there.
We did a couple weeks ago. We did our cowbell song.
Yeah,
A
it's true. We
we
did a
did
list of
Let's
cowbell
Dance by David Bowie. Okay, here we go. Next, Tears or Fears. I call this.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
It's got to be Fear.
Gotta
Yeah,
be Fears.
Fears.
Enter Sandman, Metallica. Good job. This one I'm going to jump ahead a little bit because I would call.
Oh, why did you
Oh
jump
my
ahead?
gosh.
Oh, well, thanks. Gave too much. Yes.
At the time, the most expensive video ever
Yes,
made.
absolutely.
Was it $1 million they spent on it?
I think it was 8.
8.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was like it was
hello.
something.
Jeez,
we took
I just did the Dr. Evil. $1 million.
100 billion yen. Yeah, good call. Okay, Scream. Yep. I call this a creepy. Oh man, I kind of gave away a hint. Well.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Oh no! I hit the button. Sorry.
This is a sound check? Okay.
Do we know this song?
Oh yeah. You know it. And not just from a Geico commercial.
Where the broom leans around.
Dude. This is MJ singing though.
Yes, on the chorus only.
the chorus.
It's not MJ's song.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
why I love this song.
This is Rockwell.
Rockwell. Yeah.
Can
Who
you?
is the son-in-law of Barry Gordy?
That's why.
Yeah.
I
This is-
always wondered about this song.
Yeah.
Would we call this Tears or Fears?
Fears.
Fears. It's
right?
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, good tune.
Would you give me that chorus just to satiate
Oh,
my
yeah.
Bleeding
Heck yeah.
bloodthirst? Because I just need to hear MJ to
Absolutely.
get this out of my
It's a
head.
sound check. Can you turn down 2K and the snare a little bit?
I feel like, give me a little more snare. That is fascinating. I needed that. You just filled a hole in my brain.
You're welcome.
That has for years been needed that I didn't know.
Like why was Michael Jackson
Like, well,
on this
yeah,
song?
it's like
It's actually on his project, Scream project that he redid. He put it. Since he has
Oh right, he included it. Yeah.
included it on his.
did he write it?
I don't
don't think
know.
so.
I think he just helped contribute. I mean, he had to have written something just to get his. I don't know.
Okay, I needed that.
Anyway.
Thank you.
That was good. All right. JP new to the smartphone world, so if it's taking me a minute,
It's
just
okay.
got a smartphone.
That's okay.
So here we go. We're moving along. This will be. I think Rob will pull you out of the. If you don't know this one's a toughie. I'm putting a lot of pressure on you on this one, Rob. I'll give you a hint. The word tears or fears is in this song title.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
No, but I wanted to put that on the list, but I didn't. This takes a minute to get into. Let me see.
This is making me sad.
Don't think about the Braves.
Really? Come on now.
Every now and then a man He misses
Anyway.
his girl.
This is Eric Clapton as a hint.
Oh.
It's a hit for Eric Clapton.
Oh.
But it's not the
It's
one.
not Tears in Heaven.
Not Tears in Heaven. This is River of Tears by Eric Clapton.
I
which
do
is
not
from
know
Pilgrim.
This is off. This is
Oh, he
off
used to
the
close a bunch of his
Father's
shows.
Eyes album, isn't it?
It's on Pilgrim.
Yeah.
It's on
Yeah.
Pilgrim.
That's the one that Father's Eyes is
Father's
on.
Eyes
Yeah,
is
yeah.
on it, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, he used to close that era. This was his closer. He would come out and leave people just like,
Oh, man.
why would you do that?
Yeah,
Why
I
don't you
could
play
see that.
Layla? Me and Rob saw Clapton, and he didn't play Layla.
Yeah.
At all.
He played for like 6 hours.
And didn't play Layla. Anyway,
Did 18 encores.
we're moving
No
along.
Layla.
Here's another.
Oh.
We know
Oh.
You know the artist?
Yeah, I know the artist. I don't know the song.
It's Willie.
Yeah, you know it.
Oh.
Blue
Yeah.
Eyes Crying in the Rain.
But that's old school. Like
Tears
this-
song.
When was the last time you heard that song?
I want to play this one's a toughie. I don't expect you, most people.
Oh my gosh!
You know
Are you
this?
kidding me?
Soul Cages.
Yeah.
I always love that talking drum.
I love it.
I'll be like, did they let monkeys into this recording session?
This is a JP fave.
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah. But what's the. Oh,
Is
yes,
this
okay,
Vinny
I
or
got the
Manu?
song.
This is Manu, isn't it?
I think it is on this album.
On
Yeah.
Soul Cages.
It's Manu Kache, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
I should look
because
that
I
up.
think Vinny was. What's the next album after this?
Summoner's Tales.
Summer's
after this.
Tales. Which is
Summer's Tales.
God,
We did an
that
album
voice,
listen through.
man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Tears or Fears? Anybody?
Oh, this
Tears.
Tears. For sure. Yeah.
Why should
Don't
I cry?
cry for me.
Why should I cry for you? Very good call. All right, 2 more, guys.
Oh.
Is this?
Oh,
No.
wait.
It's
Oh,
not
I
what
know
I think it
this. While my guitar gently weeps.
Boom.
Okay. Oh,
Weeps.
yeah, okay.
Tears
All
or
right.
Fears. Okay, last one. This one's kind of tricky.
My brain told me that was about to turn to
It's
Eastbound
okay.
and Down.
That's
I don't know.
all right.
Oh my gosh.
This one's tricky. This one's a tougher one. I probably shouldn't have ended it.
Picked bass.
But I like
Yeah.
that either answer will work on this.
Oh no.
Oh, wait. Why do I know everything about this, but I don't know it?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, this is already driving me crazy.
One night, WrestleMania, Sting, Lex Luger,
Junkyard Dog.
JYD.
What is this song?
Oh my gosh, this is driving me
When
crazy.
the vocalist comes in, you'll know the artist, I think.
Is it Peter Gabriel?
It's not Peter Gabriel.
Who is this?
I'm sorry the intro is so long, but it's really...
Oh
Dude.
my gosh, it's about to
It's almost there. Trying to give you guys as much time as possible.
what?
Okay,
Ozzy?
that's Ozzy. Very good. This is No More Tears,
Wow.
which is a
Wow, I
scary
would've
song
lost that.
about tears. So either one would have worked.
Kind of
Yeah.
both.
It's both.
Okay.
So, anyway.
Once he came in, I went, I don't know the song at all.
Oh, I didn't
I thought
either.
it was something totally
I
else.
thought
You missed,
I was-
You thought you knew it, but you didn't. Everybody wins this prize of unspeakable value.
Oh,
we are
no.
recording this on March the 12th.
Yeah.
Which is important because we're in the middle of the SEC tournament, and we're
Kind of.
getting tickets to an SEC tournament that is
Oh, my
not
God.
that
Oh,
is
got
not
canceled.
happening.
Yeah.
It is canceled.
All right.
That
So,
was
anyway,
that,
that was-
would have been
That
so
would have been
valuable.
amazing.
Until this moment.
Until this moment. This is worth absolutely nothing,
That's
everybody.
right.
We were about to go to the tournament, but
Don't you wonder what we're gonna know about that by the time this comes out?
Oh,
exactly.
I do.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
that's kind of fearful.
Look at you.
It is.
Look at that
Oh,
tie
man.
in.
Look at you.
Yeah,
Wow.
we're March 12th.
Which could bring tears.
Which could bring tears. We'll release this in April. We hope all y'all are well
I
out
hope
there.
we're all still. I
trugging
mean, I
along.
don't want to be great.
We're
This
gonna
is a serious
end.
thing.
We're gonna
Never
end
mind.
on a. We're gonna end on a nice happy note. Not that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy that this song
But it's
exists.
apropos.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
apropos
It
for
really
the
is.
subject.
It
Yeah,
really
it fits.
Grim and
A
dark
little
and
uncomfortable.
Kurt and Roland would have loved it.
That's right.
Oh my
This
God,
is-
they're
this-
like,
They're probably having a
We're going
blast.
to write so many songs.
Exactly. They're so inspired right now.
Would y'all call
That's
this
grim.
okay? Genre. We normally talk about. I call this new wave music.
Yeah.
Kind of underground. Then artists like Blondie and Talking Heads were kind of the first into like new wave.
Yeah.
But this is kind of more. It's different from punk. It's more like synth pop or electro pop, which is classified. Under,
I think so. That's
under
what I
new
would say
wave.
too, yeah.
So try to.
Yeah, new wave makes me think of different neon. This
Okay.
doesn't make
Yeah.
me think of that.
Okay. Cool.
This
Then,
feels like
yeah.
or like
When I think new wave, I think of like the Buggles.
yes.
Okay.
You know? Like-
Devo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's U.S.
Where
new
this
wave.
feels like it's poppier younger brother or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's sort of. I know there's some classifications they call like the second British invasion, the early MTV British stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I know this kind of falls under that, so I feel that.
Cool.
Yeah,
Guys,
definitely.
this was fun. Dave,
Man.
thank you for hanging out with us.
I feel like I need to towel off from the deep dive we just did.
That's super deep dive. Dave, okay, I know you're doing some tour stuff this year.
Yes.
Why don't you tell the folks about
Let's
it?
hope
that,
I am.
I mean, honestly,
I had 2 shows cancel in
Yesterday,
3
right?
hours
Yeah.
last
Goodness
night.
gracious. We were going to go last night.
Oh, man.
We
That
were gonna-
makes me even more bummed.
No. We believe in you.
Oh, that
doing your
thing.
stinks.
Yeah.
That was a tough call, by the way. Like that, yeah, I'm sorry that should have happened, but yeah.
Yeah. So
Ring
tell
that
everybody
bell.
tell everybody about the plans. We're in mid-April at the moment as this releases.
Yeah.
So
So I've got shows coming up, hopefully, if the future goes as one wants, which it rarely does. I don't know why I keep doing that voice. It sounds so good on the mic. That's why.
The headphones
It
help.
does. It's,
too.
yeah. We can only live in headphones.
If
right
we
there.
could live in
go.
headphones,
Get it in
man.
there.
Bring it in.
So I'm doing a couple of weekends of shows. Oh my gosh, a quick squirt afterwards to the hand bump. Doing a couple of shows, doing some Texas shows, doing the Northeast. I've got an album out at this point, a new EP. Yes. I'm really excited about. And then called Dreaming in Electric Blue. The album is called that. And then I'm doing July with For King and Country.
yeah,
There we
for
go.
those It's gonna be amazing.
That's going to be a good one.
So that'll be fun, and yeah, it's a really fun year. It's a fun season too. So I'm glad to be back out rocking the
People
mic.
just need to go to your website for
That's
tickets
it.
and
Yep.
info, davebarnes.com or
Yep.
davebarnesmusic.com.
DaveBarnes.com.
Okay, davebarnes.com, everybody, for all your Dave Barnes needs. Follow him on Instagram, Twitter, which is mostly just links to his Instagram, and then Facebook as well. I know all the places. Follow Dave everywhere. Follow us everywhere. Find us at facebook.com/groups/greatsongpod if you want to be part of the community where we hang out. Otherwise, find us at greatsongpodcast.com. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and do all
Tell
the
your
things.
friends.
Tell all the friends. Tell other people. Whatever. Share the love.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Dave,
Man,
thank you so
thanks,
much. Great
Dave.
time.
My
Good times.
goodness.
I can't believe we get to do this. So
That's
cool.
right. We're going to be back again next week with another great song. But until then, I'm Rob.
I'm JP.
Go listen to some music.